Welcome everyone to episode 36 of Beer versus Ivy. I'm Jackson, and wait a minute, where's Cy at? I don't know where Cy is. He just must have forgotten. On the real though, he had some very important business to take care of today, so I'm making the call to the pen. Making the call to the pen. It's time to bring in our closer for All Star Week, and that's editor extraordinaire and one of the best football, BMX, and wrestling writers I've ever seen. Aaron Boone's number one fan, Jack Gaffney. Jack, welcome to Beer versus Ivy.
Thank you for having me. I got the late call of the pen. This was like hours notice. I got who's the old Red Sox catcher who got flown halfway across the country for Tim Wakefield back in 06. That was me last night when I got this call.
Well, we appreciate you metaphorically making the trip out to be with us today. Should we call it Monster versus Ivy for this episode? I feel like that's the only proper way to do this, because when we had Jake Eisenberg from the Royals on last time, he put in his own fountain, so I think it's only right that we put Monster for you. Is that right?
Fair enough.
Alrighty. But overall, man, how are you doing? Like I said, again, thank you for hopping on so late. How have things been? How's life? How's our boy? How's the doggo?
He's probably sleeping right now. Again, very, very uneventful weekend. Nothing really crazy happened. Very stress-free, nothing catastrophic necessarily, but no, we're doing good. Red Sox are finally back into my good graces. Never thought I'll be able to say that this year, but here we are.
Yeah, I just like looking at the wild card standings every once in a while, just like when I'm on the show with Cy, and just seeing the Red Sox in as that third wild card team. I'm just like, how is this a thing? But we'll get into that a little bit later. Yeah. I'll just do this for myself. I'm doing all right. Closed 5 days in a row at Walgreens, so 3:30 to 11:30 during the week, 2:30 to 10:30 the last 2 days on Saturday and Sunday. So I am just beat beyond belief. Shout out to one of my coworkers taking a week off for vacation. He deserves it, but I was not.
I thought you were about to back the straight over his corpse.
No. He had like over like 100 or 200 hours of PTO saved up, so he's like he deserves it. There was a time where it's just me and him running the store, so he absolutely deserves it. But I I'm just tired from having to pick up the slack for this week. Yeah, overall things good. So yeah, we'll go ahead and jump right into it, because tomorrow, it's crazy to already say, it's the MLB All-Star game. Again, I feel like the MLB needs to do a much better job of marketing. I've barely seen anything on the, and yes, there's been a lot of other stuff going on in the world that we're not going to get into. But crazy enough that we're already here. Is set for 7 p.m. tomorrow. It's going to have Pirates pitcher Paul Skeens in for the NL, while just a short time ago, I want to say 10 or 15 minutes, the AL announced that it'll be sending out Orioles pitcher Corbin Burnes to start it out. Quick Cubs note, they did say that Shota Imanaga will probably get an inning at some point for the All-Star game. So, Jack, if you want to throw in any quick reaction to the rosters we have at hand before you give your prediction for today, I think, or for tomorrow. I think the AL's won the last 7 or 8 All-Star games, if I can remember.
That sounds about right. They had the chance to do something truly great and give the ball straight to Mason Miller here from the A's. I thought that would have been incredible. I know a lot of people actually did want that, to get him versus Skeens right out of the gate. And shockingly, they didn't do it. I think Burnes is a perfectly fine choice, all things considered. I think he probably could have gone with 3 or 4 different guys out of the AL, but Burnes, I think his ERA is a little under 3 right now. Pretty similar. I wouldn't say similar to like Skubal, because like Skubal's on its own plane right now, but they'd be on that tier with guys like Tanner Houck and guys like that. So I don't have a problem with Corbin Burnes necessarily getting the start.
Yeah, just taking a quick look. Burnes, 118 innings pitched, a 2.43 ERA. So I think he's actually right in line with Skubal in terms of ERA. Because I think Skubal is somewhere in the mid twos as well. So I think at this point, it's probably just veteranship at this point, as much as I hate to admit it. Yeah, 241 for Skubal. So they're right in line with each other. Because I feel like Corbin Burnes is like a Cy Young candidate, has like not been talked of at all, at least on the AL side of things.
I feel like that's just how he's been his entire career. It feels like.
Yeah, well,
maybe with some off here and there, but like every year you always hear about Corbin Burnes up until like August. I feel like.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you play for a Mickey Mouse market like the Milwaukee Brewers. You don't get any attention because you have no history.
Wait a minute. No, we'll get into that later. No, we'll get into that later.
I have to take digs at the NL Central anywhere I can, man. It's tough scenes right now. Just to give everyone a reminder, here are the starters for both leagues. In the American League, we have Adley Rutschman at the catcher, Vlad Guerrero Jr. at first base, Altuve at second, even though I believe he is getting replaced.
He's definitely getting replaced. I saw that.
Jose Ramirez will be at third base. He'll also be in the home run derby tonight, which we'll get into later. Gunnar Henderson will be at shortstop. Judge, Stephen Kwan, Juan Soto in the outfield with Yordan Alvarez DHing. And then for the National League, it'll be William Contreras plus the Phillies and Dodgers at this point. Oh my God, it's hilarious. They accidentally have Bryce Harper. This is on Sporting News, listed that he's with the Nationals.
Oh.
Whoopsies.
Tough.
Bryce Harper will be at first. Ketel Marte will be at second. Alec Boehm, Trey Turner filling out the rest of the infield. Jurickson Profar, Tatis, and Yelich in the outfield with Shohei Ohtani DHing.
All right, so at least it's not all Dodgers and Phillies.
Yeah, there are two players from the NL Central in this lineup. Everything else is Phillies or NL West.
Listen, Phillies are good. Dodgers are good. Someone has to say it. Listen, if I have to be the guy to say that one of those two teams are good before anyone else, I'll do it. Listen, don't hold my feet to the hot coals. You understand? Someone has to say it.
Only getting the hottest of hot takes around here. And then just a quick update on some of the injury replacements. Max Fried is in there. Hunter Green and Christopher Sanchez are replacing Tyler Glass now. Ranger Suarez and Zach Wheeler, who are all sitting out due to injury or some other reason. And then I believe Carlos Correa is also not participating. Jordan Westberg was named as a replacement. And Willie Castro will be the new Twins representative at the All-Star game. Which I think is kind of weird, but I guess they had to pick someone from the infield. And I think that was the only guy you could really pick, because you couldn't have picked Royce Lewis because he just doesn't have the sample size for this year. So I think Willie Castro is fine. It was weird.
Yeah, a little bit, I would say.
So,
but anything to get Carlos Correa out, I will forever hate Carlos Correa. He's not really a very likable player.
Yeah, I hate to say it. The only reason I was gonna say the only reason I kind of knew Willie Castro is because, like, in the early part of MLB The Show 24, he was like the guy as like a gold player, just hitting absolute tanks.
Every year,
that is the only reason.
Like, who are like the 3 or 4 goal guys I can rely on before I get that first live series diamond? Like, who are the guys I can rely on in my circle of trust?
I don't have 24 this year, so I can't say.
That's fine.
But I will. I will say
now.
just as a
dead in about 3 hours, I'll say.
I will say historically though, one of my favorite golds I ever used. I don't know how he was a gold. It was from MLB The Show 16 on the PS3 of all consoles. I had a gold David Wright with the Mets.
He must have been hurt the year before.
Favorite players.
He had to have been hurt the year before. I know they made the World Series in 15, but didn't he miss time? Like a good chunk of time.
I believe he did.
Okay, so that probably
he did. Yeah, and I think, I don't, and I think gold rating system was different. I think it was like an 84 gold, so it wasn't like he was like a 80 or 81. He was like an 84 gold or something like that.
Oh yeah, that's on the high. That's on the high end of gold now, I would say. Like that 84 to 86 range.
Well, 85 and above is diamond now.
Oh yeah, all right.
So he was right on the cusp from what I remember, but absolutely one of my favorite cards I've ever used in terms of a gold player who I'm like, oh, this should be interesting. I doubt the servers are still up, but I should fire it up and see who I still have on that team if it'll let me see it. But tangent over. Who's your final prediction to win the All-Star game today or tomorrow? God.
I'm gonna go AL just based on the fact they've won like 9 in a row at this point. But we'll ride the hot hand until it goes cold. They don't have Shohei Ohtani, but they got basically everybody else. So that's good enough for me. You got Henderson still. I think he's second in the sport right now. Moore, you got Judge, who's first. Witt's not starting, correct? So I know Witt's like fourth in WAR or something like that now. And then I'm assuming you got Duran, who's probably gonna end up getting like a key at bat like late in that game. So I'm gonna go AL.
I think that's totally fair. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be a good game regardless. I think almost every All-Star game is usually pretty good.
Now imagine if they want to market it, and not put it on a Tuesday night at 7:00.
I was talking about it with Cy last week. And
this is Rob Manfred's America. This is Rob Manfred's America, man. It's crazy.
Why are you putting your marquee events in the middle of summer when there are no other major sports going on? There's no offense to any other sports going on right now. Just
if I had to guess, it's probably more so the Fox thing. But I gotta imagine if you're Major League Baseball, you can be like, listen, if we could not be on a weeknight at 7:00, that would be awesome moving forward. But if I had to guess, just kind of knowing, obviously, not to compare NASCAR to say baseball, but I know the networks have a say in how the scheduling works in NASCAR, so I'm gonna guess might be somewhat similar in baseball. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not, but I would have to imagine the networks were like, yeah, we think this is the best spot for this game. And they're wrong, obviously, but
yeah,
what happened to the game?
Every other major all-star event for every other sport is on a weekend. I was in Indy for the NBA All-Star weekend. They had the 3-point contest and dunk contest on Saturday night, and then you have the main All-Star game on Sunday night. And this is the middle of February, where I think the NFL playoffs were still happening. I think at this point.
I think this was either the week or 2 after. I could be wrong though. To the best of my, because I do remember that weekend, give or take, but I want to say it was a little after the NFL season wrapped.
Yeah, I can't remember specific. I know obviously it's in the middle of February, but anyway, and then NHL All-Star weekend. it's a weekend. The All-Star game and All-Star game tournament is on a Sunday. I think I don't remember specifically with the Pro Bowl. I'm assuming it's on a Sunday. The Pro Bowl, considering what they turned it into.
Yeah, they'll do like the games and competitions on a Saturday, and they'll do the game on a Sunday, like during like the daytime. But obviously, people are gonna watch it.
Right. So
with the NFL logo on anything, they will come. I promise you.
Build the logo, and they will come.
Put that
It'd be like gas station sushi, and there's an NFL logo on the sushi, and people will buy it.
Yeah, this might be not that bad. And then you're just in the hospital for a week.
Yes, Rob Manfred, leave. We have our own commissioner candidate here. I'm just saying, Cy for commissioner 2029. Let's make it happen, folks.
100%.
Let's put the All-Star game on a Sunday. And I did fact check. The NL actually did win last year.
Really?
Yep.
I would have
Elias Diaz was All-Star game MVP from the Rockies.
Oh, yeah, the Rockies. Okay, yeah, because he had a 99 in the show. I should remember that.
Yep. But yes, every other year, the last time the NL had won was 2012 at Kauffman Stadium. They won 8-0.
Oh, that's wretched. All-Star game 8-0. What happened? What happened to the game that I love?
Matt Cain was the National League starter.
What happened?
Tony La Russa was the manager.
Bro, he was like 90 at that point. He's 100 now. He's like 110 now. You understand?
And Melky Cabrera was the MVP.
What the fuck?
He was with the Giants in 2012.
You could have told me this was 2005, and I believe you. Melky Cabrera in the big 2024?
Yep. And then in subsequent years, it was 5-3, or it was 3-0 AL in Citi Field. Mariano was MVP.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was his last All-Star game. Yeah, I remember that.
2014 and 2015 was Mike Trout at Target and Great American. Then Eric Hosmer in 2016 with the Royals.
Red Sox legend Eric Hosmer?
Red Sox and Padres and Cubs legend Eric Hosmer.
Oh, yeah, he was with the Cubs, yeah.
Yep, and then DFA'd like 3 weeks into the season.
Ooh.
And then 2017, Robinson Cano.
Ooh.
2018, Alex Bregman. 2019, Shane Bieber. Oh, this is gonna make me laugh. 2022, Giancarlo Stanton, All-Star Game MVP.
Oh yeah, did he hit like 2 home runs that game?
I believe so. You're probably right, but
he hit one for sure. I remember that.
Just taking a look at some of these starters for like the games, like you have Roy Halladay, Matt Harvey, Dallas Keuchel, Johnny Cueto.
Oh God,
Hyun-Jin Ryu.
This is unethical ball. This is not aged well. Dallas.
Oh my
Dallas Keuchel. I thought he was one of the 5 best pitchers on the planet in like 2015. And it's like, how about I just become like a bottom 5 pitcher on the planet like 3 years later, and then everyone in his circle was like, "This is it. This is the plan right here. You understand?"
Yeah, he literally got traded for $1 and then got cut by the Brewers like 3 days ago.
This guy won a Cy Young, for Christ's sake. Traded for $1. Have some shame. What happened to the shame, Cy? Cy, wherever you're at, what happened to shame? What happened? Where'd she go? Where's she at? Where'd she go?
Hey, you know what? That's what happens when you talk bad about the Cubs core and say they're going to have that you're not going to have the same World Series hangover like they did and then lose to the Red Sox in 2018.
It's true.
That's what you get. That's what you get your career down the toilet.
In a series that was never in doubt. Not even for a second.
No. But I am perfectly going to go with my own bias. I'm going to go with the National League in this one.
Now we're about objective takes here.
I think just mine is going to be through hard facts and research that it's simply just the aura of Paul Skeens starting this game will carry the NL. The aura will carry. And then I'm going to say, who's on their bench? Who's on the NL bench? I'm going to say Teoscar Hernandez is going to win All-Star Game MVP.
I'm in. That'd be funny because the Red Sox were too cheap to sign him. That'd be very funny for me.
Yep. It'd be even funnier, but I'd also be mad if Luis Arias won All-Star Game MVP.
Oh, no. I know everyone hates him now, so I want that to happen now. I'm in.
He did not. Oh, my God. He did not deserve to get in over Bryce Terang. I will die on that hill.
They're calling this man a singles merchant now.
He is. He is a singles merchant.
I've been told for years that getting on base is good. What does he do? He gets on base, and people are like, "Boo, boo, stink! Get out of here! Get him out of here!"
It's not just about getting on base; it's about actually hitting the ball with some exit velo.
I've been told for years it's about moving the line, not putting, dots in the out column. They lied to me on every track. They lied to me. Disgusting.
What is that? What is those singles getting you if you're one game out of the playoffs behind the Grimace Mets? What if that's going on?
Put that in the Marlins. They have no one else outside of Jazz Chisholm.
Well, no, he's on the Padres now.
Yes. Oh yeah, he is on the Padres. Shit. Have him hit leadoff for Xander Bogaerts, and then you're all set.
Is it? Yeah, I think Bogey is out for a while.
Oh yeah, he is. He got hurt. I remember weeping over that softly.
Yep, because they got Cronenworth at second, and they have Arias at first now.
All John Henry's fault.
Yep. But hey, you're doing better than the Padres. You're actually in the playoffs.
Can't argue that. Shit.
All right. Moving on. But before the home run or the All-Star game happens, we have the lovely, one of the best All-Star events ever created by man.
No, the best All-Star event created by man.
I don't know. The 3-point contest, especially this year, came very close.
Get him out of here. No, get him out of here. Where's the boo sound effect right now for what I'm hearing?
We don't have access to the Third Down Thursdays ones, but this is probably the one you're probably most looking for.
I like nope. Splash Brothers, nope. We won, nope.
That better not be who I think it is.
It is future MMA fighter Draymond Green.
Oh my god.
I have now put two people through emotional distress using that sound effect.
I
used to use that.
Like, there's no way. And sure enough, it was. Now, who we got here in our? What? What is my listening?
Anywho,
what the fuck?
Home Run Derby. Well,
no, we're not
gonna. Did you hear the sound I was trying to play?
We're not gonna breeze past that. What the fuck was that? What?
Yes.
Get to the home run derby lineups. It's just...
Anywho, home run derby, believe it's tonight. Again, shout out to MLB marketing. It is going to be. Here is the lineup. I would say it's a little bit on the weaker side, but I still think there's some pretty decent guys in here. Got Gunnar Henderson, got All-Star Merchant Pete Alonso in here, Bobby Witt Jr., Marcell Ozuna, Jose Ramirez, hometown hero Adolis Garcia for the Rangers, and Teoscar Hernandez from the Dodgers. Early thoughts of who do you think is going to win this one?
Well, I can tell you who's not going to win, and he plays for the New York Mets, you understand. Maybe not for long, but as of right now, he plays for the New York Mets. If I have to see Pete Alonso in the batting cages doing, like, meditations again, just for him to go out at, like, 10 home runs on, like, 50 pitch attempts, like, I'm never watching this event ever again. Never watching this event ever again. This dude had, like, handles around him. He was doing, like, the hand signals for meditation. And he just goes out there and just thinks up the joint. That, to me, that's unacceptable. Unacceptable. And with that being said, this is either going to be Adolis Garcia or Gunnar Henderson. I feel very confident saying that.
Okay. I could see that. I think there could be some hometown favoritism with Adolis there. I'm gonna go with Bobby Witt Jr. for a couple of reasons. One, he's already won a home run derby in Texas. He won a home run derby in high school in Texas, so he knows the lay of the land. He's familiar with Texas, just a little bit. But also, and this is going to sound like the worst reason why. I was watching a TikTok, and this guy brought up the two factors that every of the last, it's like 5 or 6 home run derby winners have in common. They're all 26 or younger, and they all have an exit velo of 116 or higher.
Oh, here's an exit velo. You lost. No, I'm kidding.
The only guy in this derby that matches both of those descriptors is Bobby Witt Jr. So I'm going Bobby Witt Jr. I'm for those who know, Bibby Watt season incoming. If you know, you know.
I thought you were about to hit me with like the barrel angle per 162 runs.
Oh no.
I was about to be like, I'm gonna leave right now.
He has a good defensive run saved and like 8 outs above average, which translates to him being a good hitter.
So, you guys have a good no.
His WRC plus combined with his OPS plus is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Whatever happened to those like group of nerds that were like, what if we try to ruin Ellie De La Cruz before he really gets hot last year? Every single person who was a part of that agenda should be in prison. Every single person. When he was like, I think it was after the game where he had like the 4 stolen bases against the Brewers. And it was like actually like his his barrel angle per 162, runs created per 9, exit velo per 36. Actually terrible. Like he's not a good baseball player. And it's like he runs 20 miles an hour. You literally cannot stop him from stealing a base. He hits home runs at like 118 off the bat. Don't tell me this guy isn't good. Like, just don't tell me he isn't good, please.
Okay. The only thing I will say in somewhat defense of those people was that he had a 235 batting average. Like there were stretches where he was just barely over the Mendoza line last year. So that was more my criticism of him last year, was like he was a bit of a home run merchant. We need more of that. We need more Adam Dunns. Whatever happened to Adam Dunn, man? We need more Adam Dunns. Clone him. I will say he's already got 17 home runs. He's hitting 256 this year. His OPS plus is above average now. He's at 128. I'm happy that he's doing better. I don't think he should have won Rookie of the Year last year. There's no reason for him to win it. I just think people.
Oh no, he went over Armstrong. Yeah, that's why you're saying that.
Well, not like who even. I can't even remember who won NL. Oh, it was Corbin Carroll last year. Yeah, that was not going to happen.
Oh yeah, not just.
But no, yeah, I think that's where a lot of it was coming from. Was just that it was just a response from people who are overhyping him. So,
he's
not that I agree with it.
He runs at 25 miles an hour and he hits tanks. That's all I need. I'm simple.
Simple man for a simple life. But all right, so should be a good one tonight. Yeah, I'm excited for this. I'm excited to see like these guys to show like that they're yes, you don't have like the big stars, but these are still some. You got two players who are in the running for AL MVP in this. You got or three guys who are in the running for AL MVP in this. You got one of the best power hitters on and off the field in Marcell Ozuna.
Ooh.
And then you got a playoff performer in Adolis Garcia, and then one of the most unexpected guys who took $26 million from the Dodgers and Teoscar Hernandez. So,
and then regrettably Pete Alonso.
Yeah, and the only reason he's in it is because he got put as an all-star.
Disgusting.
Ken Rosenthal literally reported that the only reason he would do the home run derby if he was named an all-star.
Happened in the game I love, man. This is unethical. Unethical.
So no Francisco Lindor, no Brandon Nimmo, no Bryce Terang, because the MLB wants Pete Alonso. They're going to trot him out like Steph Curry for a 3-point contest.
They're trotting him out there like he's a circus attraction. A sideshow freak, you understand. You sideshow Bob. Yeah. Terwilliger. Coming out in the straight jacket.
Do you think this country would only be?
Do you think this country could survive Nick Castellanos in the home run derby? Like objectively right now?
No, I think the world would come to an end if Nicholas Castellanos like participated in a home run derby.
I think, one of these years he has to, right? He has to. One of these years, come on.
Like, I don't even know. I don't even know what you could predict next to happen. Like, he hits a home run during an event redacted. We're not going to get into. Obviously, he hits the home run that started the meme.
And I would say there's been some other one. Ever. You think of all the memes in the 21st century, that's top 5 minimum. It's my number 1 for the record. But it's top 5 for sure.
It is easily the number 1 meme in all of baseball in the 21st century. I don't think there's anything that can top it. In terms of sports, I definitely agree top 5. Yeah, I think the Jordan crying meme is probably in there.
Yeah,
that had a chokehold on us for a while. In terms of like super cringy ones, the OKC Thunder Mom Made Pizza Rolls one.
Oh yeah, that died up pretty quick, and thank God it did. That was dumb. That was awful.
That's
Curry shooting like the sup meme from the moon. That's another one.
Oh God. That was the OKC one was part of the Facebook era memes before like we actually like got into it and Twitter like actually popped off. So thankfully that happened. Thankfully that
happened. We lost. Thank God we got the recipes back, but we lost recipes for so long in the Facebook era, and that to me is unacceptable.
So, just a quick fun thing that I just saw come across my screen. Looks like Bronny James can actually hit some shots.
Oh, I saw this. Yep, I know exactly what you're going to say. I saw this.
He just won the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 tournament that took place at the Summer League. He gets a custom Call of Duty belt and $10,000.
Which Rich Paul will take 90%
Shout out. Shout out to former Marquette guard DJ Carton, who came in 4th.
And Grant Williams came 2nd, didn't he?
Yep.
I'm about to say that I definitely saw. That popped out to me more than Bronny winning. Like, what's happening here? Like this is like a shooting contest that's sponsored by Call of Duty. No, it was an actual Call of Duty game.
Yep. Anywho, you know what? In terms of like playing Call of Duty in any video game, you're gonna use your fingers a lot, right? And you got to make sure those are okay, right?
I'm following.
So you know what people are. So you know what people are gonna need?
What's that? What are you proposing here? You understand? What are you proposing?
They're gonna need some good insurance.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent is Building Block Insurance Group. Get a quote today at 704-464-4544.
Erie Insurance.
And when you contact our guy, Jeff Wertepney, at 404-464-4544 or at jeff@mybebig.com, let her know that Third Down Thursdays and Beer vs. IV/Monster sent you, and that Mr. Jack Gaffney is better than him at College Football 25.
I thought you were going to say Call of Duty. I'm like, I haven't touched MW2 or 3 in like 18 months. Clean. Best decision I've ever made. But nonetheless.
I was gonna say, I think your brain thanks you for avoiding Modern Warfare 3. I honestly,
I think our boss should join me based off of his tweets over the last like 5 nights.
The only Call of Duties I've ever played is a little bit of World War II Zombies.
Oh Jesus! That's the first zombies you play?
That's the only zombies I've played.
What the fuck?
The only other 2 Call of Duty games I've played is Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, and then Modern Warfare 2019.
I'm trying to find the words right now. No, but just keep going. I'll mentally catch up here in a second.
I was gonna say, I was trying to find ways. Like, I was thinking about getting World at War. I was thinking about getting the first Black Ops game, but God, on Steam and thanks to Activision and Microsoft, they're still like near full price, like $20 for World at War, $60 for Black Ops 2. Like, no, thank you.
I imagine most of those games are coming to Game Pass soon, though, so I wouldn't really sweat that for too much longer.
See, I'm a PS fanboy over here.
That's
I literally behind me in my entertainment center, I have a PS2, a PS3, a PS4, and a PS5. Like literally just all sitting right there. Sorry, I get to play Spider-Man. That's all that matters. Just cope with Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, and 7 different versions of The Last of Us 2.
Okay, I don't really care about that game series, so it doesn't count. So, anyway.
They've there's 2 Last of Us games, but they've released the 2 games, I think, combined like 8 times in the span of like 15 years. No bag over there at Naughty Dog. None. No bag.
Hey, don't disrespect the Uncharted series. Let's not get crazy now.
That's when they had a bag.
Yes. Currently they don't. I will admit to that.
Correct.
But speaking of losers and some former winners, Elite Transition, we have our winners and losers from the first half of the Major League season, the unofficial first half of the Major League season. I can already tell based on what you had on your undertag for your name card here. Why don't you go ahead and start? Who is your biggest loser from the first half of the 2024 season?
I know they're first place in their division right now. I understand that. I understand that they're probably going to make the playoffs. The only answer here to me is the New York Yankees. You have Aaron Judge playing as, again, right now, he's on pace to be much better than he was in 2022 when he won the MVP and hit like 60 home runs. You have Juan Soto, you understand. Juan Soto, the modern day Ted Williams. And you have not, I think you've won, one series in the last like month and a half? Something like that. You have that loser Garrett Cole. Yes, I will call him a loser. He's winning nothing in his life that will ever matter. I truly believe that. He's a loser. You have all this talent, all this potential, and you're like, 3-17 in your last 20, something like that? And you were up I think 8 games in the AL East over the Orioles. They actually take that back. They are behind the Orioles now. And oh, by the way, the Red Sox, who were in the water to begin this year, are only 3.5 games back on you, and you've only beaten them twice so far. I have one person to thank for this. It's Aaron Boone. I truly believe this. As a Boston sports fan, as a lifelong Boston sports fan, the Aaron Boone home run in 2003 is the second greatest thing that ever happened to Boston sports behind drafting Tom Brady. I truly believe that in my heart of hearts. Because, number one, they didn't even win the World Series that year. Let's start there. They didn't even win the World Series in 2003. Then Aaron Boone voids his own contract that offseason by tearing his ACL playing pickup basketball, you understand. And then the Yankees, who were not even in on Alex Rodriguez in the slightest, become interested in Alex Rodriguez, who is going to be a Boston Red Sox, in a trade that was going to have, I believe, John Lester for sure, and then I believe Hanley Ramirez traded to the Texas Rangers. And that trade ends up getting voided. The Yankees get in. The Yankees get him instead of the Red Sox. And I think we kind of know how the rest of the next decade or so goes. Then Aaron Boone ended up getting the job at ESPN, and he was actually pretty solid. He was a solid commentator, I thought, for ESPN when he was there. And then because he hits a fluke home run in 2003, he gets the Yankees job. And he's just underachieved year after year after year. And I love him for it. And I will cry when he gets fired at the end of the year. Hopefully he doesn't. I'm holding out hope. I will cry legitimate tears when he gets fired. Because he's awesome. I love Aaron Boone so much. Again, just an unbelievable person. He's brought me so much joy over the last 5 years, let alone the last 20 indirectly. But the 5 that he's given me directly, I could never repay him, truthfully. But yeah, Yankees, watching their downfall in real time, incredible. There are more reputable Red Sox fans, even more so than me, that screamed from the mountaintops being like, you guys are going to hate Alex Verdugo by the time you get to July. And sure enough, what happens yesterday? Look what happens yesterday. 99% catch probability on that ball yesterday. 2 outs, bottom of the ninth, and he just blows the game. Because he has no heart. He has no hustle. He's a loser. A loser. And he's hit I think he has 5 total hits since that game where he hit 2 home runs in Fenway. Loser. And you guys were so happy when you got him. So happy when you got him in the Bronx, brother. This is all to say you hate to see it. This is all to say you hate to see it. Truthfully. Yankees' biggest loser. Not even close.
So you are actually correct. He has 3 hits since going 2 for 5 on July 6th against the Red Sox.
Oh, surely that was 3 days ago, right? Surely that wasn't too long ago, right? That was only 2 days ago. Surely you understand.
Yeah. Let's see. 3 for, let's see how my math is, man. 3, 6, 10, 15, 19, 24. He's gone 3 for 28 since going 2 for 5
right.
against the Red Sox on July 6th.
Now the good thing here, like he's not hitting like cleanup or anything. He's hitting like 8th or 9th in the Yankees lineup. Surely Aaron Boone not putting him in the cleanup spot behind Soto and Judge. Clearly, like he would never do something quite like that, as we all know.
Oh my God! Why?
Are you about to tell me something that's gonna make me faint?
No, I knew you were kind of joking, but he is legitimately batting Alex Verdugo in the cleanup spot.
No. This is
here's the lineup from the last game before the All-Star game.
No,
Bryce leading off.
That's crazy,
Soto,
man.
Verdugo, Torres, Wells, Volpe, Grisham, Cabrera.
That's crazy, man.
I thought you were just. I thought you knew like he was actually doing that. I didn't realize.
No. This is what we call sarcasm. I absolutely knew.
Oh my God!
I haven't tuned out with the Red Sox the last like 4 months up until that Marlins series. But listen, we've been hate watching the Yankees, scoreboard watching for the last like 4 months. It's been great. It's awesome.
And then the game before, he has Verdugo lead off.
Like,
what are you doing?
Aaron Boone is so sick. I love Aaron Boone so much, man. So much.
Oh my God!
It's all right in front of us. It's all right in front of us.
Oh, good Lord. Anywho. Oh my God. I am now thankful every day I have Craig Counsell instead of Aaron Boone. Always.
We'll get the Craig Counsell, buddy. We'll get to the Craig Counsell, I promise you. We will get to him, I promise you.
All right. I'll go ahead and give my biggest loser. And it's tough because there are a lot of losers. But I'm going to stay in the AL East. I'm going to the Toronto Blue Jays. As
they would have probably
been biggest.
Probably, yeah.
You have the obvious punching bags in the White Sox, the A's, the Marlins, the Rockies. They're all terrible.
Yeah, they're too easy. Far too easy.
They're too easy. They didn't have any expectations coming in this year. The A's teased us in the first half of the year before falling back down to earth. But the Toronto Blue Jays were pumping their chests. They were saying, this is just the start of a movie. With this era of Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
They almost sideshow Ohtani.
Yep, they were a misreported flight away. And a report that he visited their facility in Florida away.
Yeah, and then a certain freak of the week nominee who we're not going to name decided to show up in his like at a nightclub in Toronto with a Ohtani jersey in Toronto, and that completely jinxed that. He a fan. A fan.
There we go. But yeah, no. Blue Jays, awful. Last place in the AL East, 44-52. And even if you take a look at the wild card, you think, oh, maybe they're kind of close to a wild card spot.
Oh, surely. You have Bo Bichette and Vlad Guerrero. Hello? We've lost him. Aaron Boone must have taken him out, man. That's crazy. No, Clay Holmes actually probably took him out, given his command over the last 4 nights. Why would Clay Holmes do this, man? This is disgusting. Man doesn't want to talk about his Cubs, man. This is disgusting. This is really sad. My Wi-Fi is awful. Give me a second.
Alrighty. Apologies for some technical issues on my end. Shout out to Verizon Wi-Fi for absolutely awful.
Clay Holmes must have hit the router. There's just impeccable command over the last week or so.
Oh, 100%.
Not even close to the strike zone.
Totally a deserving all-star over some of the Griffin Jacks from the Twins. Totally deserving.
Oh, of course.
But as I was saying earlier before the Wi-Fi rudely interrupted me, you think, the Toronto Blue Jays might be close to a wild card spot, right? Wrong.
Surely.
4th worst record in the American League, just 3 games ahead of the Angels, 9.5 games back of the Red Sox, 10 of the Twins.
Sell everything. It's over. It's like that backpack.
It's never been more over.
It's that backpack with the strap, you understand? That's like barely hanging on.
The Gucci backpack, yep.
Yeah, it's over, bro. Sell everything. It's over. It's
Bo
so
Bichette,
over.
you are a Los Angeles Dodger. Vlad Jr., I don't know where you're going.
Are the Cubs in the first baseman?
Not really. Michael Busch is kind of killing it. He good. Problem is, Cubs need a third baseman. But I don't know how much better Vlad Jr. is going to be over Christopher Morel at third base.
Listen, we give Vlad to lose 20 pounds and get him out there. Oh, buddy, we're good. We give him some outs
keto.
We'll give him some outs above replacement kickers in his contract. We'll be good.
There you go. And he got him for another year after this. You'll have him for a season and a half. So, and he's an all-star starter. What can you say? But yeah, that's my biggest loser. Who is your biggest winner?
Phillies. I mean, they are a wagon, baby. I thought they were going to be good this year. I didn't think they were going to be this good. I mean, Trey Turner's playing like every game since the World Baseball Classic last year. Harper's playing really good again. The pitching seems to be top-notch. Outside of yesterday, obviously. We're not going to talk about losing by 15 to the A's. But outside of that, 62 and 34. I'm trying to double-check. When's the last time these boys have lost a series? It's probably been a while. Oh, it was actually against the A's, believe it or not. They swept the Dodgers.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they lost 2 or 3 to the Athletics, but had no problem sweeping the Dodgers. Unbelievable. And they're actually kind of cold, coming into the break here for their standards. I mean, they lost 1 to the Cubs, 2 to the Braves, and 2 to the Athletics. But I mean, 62 and 34 at the break. I'll take that any day of the week.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they did lose 2-3 to the Braves.
8.5 up on the Braves, man. That's crazy.
Yep. And this is always like one of my favorite parts, looking like how good like teams are doing and just seeing how many games up they're ahead of like last place. They're 29 games ahead of the Marlins.
They have a run differential of 110. No other team in the East has a run diff better than 65. And there's 2 teams in the negative.
There are only 2 teams in all of baseball with a run differential over 100.
And it's them and the Dodgers.
Nope.
Yeah. I thought the Dodgers were at 106. No, they're at 88.
Nope, that's
my mistake.
It's the team you just dogged on for like 10 minutes. It's the Yankees. They have a run differential of 106.
Oh, surely they're first place in the AL East then. Surely. Yeah, surely they're up like 9 games on like the Orioles and the Red Sox. Surely.
Easily.
Well, according to these calculations, they're second in the AL East. You understand? So not first. 4-6 in their last 10. That's well, I mean, surely things are gonna get better for them. Surely.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go with my winner now, and this is gonna hurt me because it's gonna be split into two things. The biggest winners.
I know where you're going with this.
Are both from the NL Central. It's the Milwaukee Brewers and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Milwaukee Brewers are the biggest winner because everyone and their brother, Cy and I included, thought you lose Corbin Burns. Devin Williams is out for months.
Got fleeced
no
for
Brandon Woodruff. Potentially fleeced for Corbin Burns. No Brandon Woodruff. You have Joe Ross in your starting rotation in 2024. Colin Ray. Freddie Peralta is your ace. No way the Brewers are going to be that good.
No, surely not.
Well,
surely.
We were wrong. The Brewers have a 4.5 game lead.
Me? I was wrong? Or you?
I know. It doesn't happen that often. It's like we are never wrong, right?
But just try being right all the time. It's a lot of fun.
But yeah, the Brewers have a 4.5 game lead on the Cardinals for first place in the Central. They have been scuffling a little bit, 3-7 their last 10, but still good. Christian Yelich and William Contreras are two of the best players in baseball. Christian Yelich is basically back and better than his MVP season in, was that 2019?
That's crazy, this thing. I thought for a while he was never going to get back to that.
Crazy. And then Bryce Trang is top 5 in the NL in WAR, the WAR of over 4. Joey Ortiz from the Orioles trade has been fantastic at third base for them. Jackson Churrio's finally coming into his own. Devin Williams will probably be back at some point post All-Star break. So the Brewers are looking pretty good.
What about our guy Willie Adames of Tampa Bay Rays fame?
Willie Adames is having a fantastic season and a contract year. Mr. Adames is hitting .246 with 15 home runs, 23 doubles, 67 RBIs with a WAR of 2.2.
That's not bad at all. I'll take that.
Nope. He is the team leader in RBIs and home runs.
I was about to say, like, oh, that feels kind of small, but then I realized where they play, so that actually feels like it's on track.
So
they're doing that without
the pitching.
No, you go.
Go ahead.
No.
Okay, I was just saying the pitching staff has been fantastic as well. Colin Ray has the best ERA, most wins on the Brewers staff. He's 9-3 with 105 innings pitched, a 3.77 ERA. Freddie Peralta hasn't even been that good. He's got a 4.11 ERA. So they're probably going to try and add a starter. They tried with Dallas Keuchel, and then they cut him right away.
Probably for the best.
Did he even pitch?
I think I would have heard about that if he pitched, no?
He did. He gave up 10 runs in 16 innings of work.
Honestly, that sounds about right for being completely honest here.
With 3 home runs, 8 walks, and only 11 strikeouts.
Yeah, that tracks. The guy won a Cy Young, man. Not even 10 years ago, this guy won a Cy Young.
But yes, so the Brewers, fantastic. I expect that they already traded for Aaron Savali from the Tampa Bay Rays. So he should be coming into that rotation soon and probably help them out quite a bit. I expect them to probably trade for another starter. But the other winner is a little bit surprising. Like, Jackson, why are you picking a team that's third place in the division and not even in a playoff spot? Well, that's because they probably have one of the best three-headed pitching monsters in all of baseball. You had Jared Jones and Mitch Keller to start the year, two really good pitchers. And then you casually just add a top 5 pitcher in baseball out of nowhere.
Top 5 might be
Paul
short.
Skeens.
Listen, top 5 might be cutting it a bit short. If we're really going to be honest here.
Like, he's had 2 starts going 7+ innings of no-hit baseball in his first 11 starts. Guys like Justin Verlander and like the great pitchers of our era have only done that twice in their entire career.
It's unreal what this kid is doing. It's unreal.
Yeah, and I mean, from a team that we thought, like me and Cy predicted they were going to have that late April, May collapse, which they did. And now they find themselves back in a potential playoff spot. And you take a look at Paul Skeens and he's 6-0 with a 1.90 ERA, 89 strikeouts in just how many innings? 66 innings of work. He has almost 90 strikeouts, just 13 walks. Already has a WAR of 3.2 in 11 starts.
Well, like I wasn't really truly like in the national mix per se whenever Strasburg ended up getting the call, because I know he was like the pitching prospect. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I can appreciate this probably a bit more than I should. He's not just a feature attraction for a team that has really had nothing really to cheer for the last like decade, give or take. He's a national attraction, like right now, like nationwide. This is a guy that should hypothetically, like if the Pirates were any better, this is a team that should be on national TV like at least once a week to see one of those kids starts. He's that good right now. Now, I don't think he's going to qualify for any like awards or anything like that, because I just don't think he's going to have the innings by the end of the year. I think he's like projected to have like 8 more starts, give or take. I think I read, and I just don't think that. Yeah, so he's probably not going to hit like the innings quota. But I mean, look at the eye test. Like he's legitimately unhittable. His fastball. Yeah. Might be the most unhittable fastball I've ever seen in my entire life.
And then his sprinkler pitch, that like splitter sinker that goes 95. Just how do you hit unreal that? Pitch.
Like, how do you hit that? You can't.
And the funny thing is, his worst start was his debut against the Cubs.
Against the Cubs. Yeah.
Gave up 3 runs in 4 innings. And since then, he's given up 11 runs in 10 starts. Since
preposterous. Preposterous.
Yeah, his other worst start, he gave up 3 runs against the Dodgers.
Which, like, nothing to be ashamed about there. Nothing.
No. And the funny part is, in each of the games the Pirates have lost, when he starts, he's only given up 1 run.
Yeah, like, these losses are not on him. It's crazy. This dude's in the SEC not even a crisp, 12 months ago? Give or take.
Wins a college World Series. Gets one of the biggest stars to become his girlfriend. Gets drafted number 1 overall. Has one of the greatest opening stretches to a starting pitcher's career we've ever seen. And now is the all-star starter. And makes history, becoming the first number 1 overall pick from the previous draft to be an all-star, be in the all-star game and then start in the all-star game.
Like, I'm trying to think. Since Pedro in '99, has there ever been like a start by a pitcher in the All-Star game that even comes close to like the level of hype that we have for Skeens right now going into the tomorrow night. Because I can't really think of one.
No, maybe I don't know if he made it in his rookie year, but Bryce Harper probably making the All-Star game and Mike Trout making the All-Star game are the only close comparisons I can think of.
Like Pedro and Nadia,
again,
that's the definitive like all-star performance in any sport ever. I think if he can go 2 innings and get like at least 3 strikeouts, like to me, even that's like unbelievable to me.
Yeah, I can see a world. I don't know if they let him go 2 innings because they want to try and get as many guys in as possible.
No, leave him in as long as he wants to stay in. Please. Begging you. If I just see Garrett Cole pitching my All-Star game, oh, disgusting. Let him in as long as he's the attraction. He's the reason I'm tuning in to this game. Leave him in here. Leave him in there as long as he wants to stay in. Like reasonably. I'm not expecting him to be in there for more than like what 2 2/3, but like as long as he wants to stay in, keep him in.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Should be fun. I'm also excited for Reynaldo Lopez, MLB's ERA leader. I'm excited to see him, but yeah, it's Skeens or bust, baby.
I'm just so upset Mason Miller is starting for the AL. That would have been awesome.
I know. That would have been really, really cool. But we're over time, but we're going to just quickly go through the next couple of things. After the All-Star game, we got about 2 weeks until the MLB's trade deadline on July 30th. So I'll ask you real quick, who do you think is going to buy?
More so out of necessity, because we just talked about them, the Yankees. I think you have to get another pitcher in there to go with Gill and then Cole. And we kind of talked about this pre-show. I would be stunned if they don't get Garrett Crochet. It feels like it's an inevitability more than anything else. The problem is I don't know what they'd be willing to give up. I believe it was Bob Nightingale who, again, take it with a grain of salt given his hit to misses ratio. That Drew Jones, I believe, would have to be included in any of those talks. So, again, I have no clue how true that may be, but if I'm the Yankees, it's like, we're either winning the World Series or we're getting fired at the end of this year anyway. Like, why would we potentially like not feel inclined to make a major move like that? Again, I know he has the Tommy John injury and all that. I know there's some risk because like this is the most he's ever pitched in a year. I feel like this is a trade you have to make, right? You have to make this trade if you're the Yankees.
Yeah, you can't keep going like this. Again, it was last year was worse. They only had one starter they could rely on. That was Garrett Cole, and eventually at the end of the year, Michael King became somewhat dependable. But you're going through the same thing where Carlos Rodon sucks, and the 2 other guys behind him are bad. So you're basically Nestor Cortez is mid.
Yeah, you're relying now on Cole and then a kid who's literally in his first year as a full-time starter. So it's like,
and Stroman's been mid too, so it's not like you're getting anything out of your big free agent acquisition.
Like I think, like I know Yankees fans are like have been fed up with Cashman for at least the last like few years for sure. If they stand pat, oh buddy, it's gonna get bad. It's gonna get real ugly down in the Bronx, brother.
Last year was bad because they basically stood pat. They got Kenyon Middleton from the White Sox, and that was the only trade they did. And he was fine, but they needed a lot more than that.
Yeah, it's like your window has been like you've had a championship window. Now granted, you can say there's teams that have been better than them since really Judge became Aaron Judge. Your window started when he almost won MVP in 2017, and that was close to 10 years ago now. We have no World Series appearances to show for it, which, again, you hate to see that. And every time you've gotten close, you've gotten your brains bashed in by the Houston Astros. Twice while they were cheating, once while they weren't cheating. And by the way, the one time where they didn't cheat, they swept you. That's very funny to me.
But oh no, I agree. I love laughing at the Yankees. Don't get me wrong.
But like, if you're not gonna make the all-in move now, I know you can say Soto's kind of an all-in move, but looking at where this team is right now, and again, they're gonna get Jason Dominguez back. I would say probably in the next month, give or take. If you're not going to make the all-in move to say, we're going to try to take the AL by the throat, because really, if you look at the AL, there's really not that one, like, standout team. There's a bunch of good teams, I think. I don't think there's that one standout team. They get Garrett Crochet, they're probably the best team in the AL. And if you maybe get another, like, quality bat in there somewhere. And I don't know if they're going to do that. I think they'll do one thing. I don't think they'll do two.
Yeah, I mean, record-wise, the Guardians have the best record in the American League, but they're only a half game ahead of the Orioles and a game and a half ahead of the Yankees. So the AL is absolutely wide open. The AL West is a clown show because you have the A's and Angels, and then the Rangers are going through World Series hangover, and the Astros and Mariners are like two blind monkeys fighting for that division.
Yeah, the Astros were terrible. I probably should have picked them as my winner, given how bad they were earlier in the year. And now they're only like a game out.
Yep, they're one game back.
Crazy how that happens.
The Astros are like I don't even know what they are.
They're
a cockroach. That's the best way I can put it. They're a cockroach that just won't go away.
You don't have to like them. You gotta respect them, brother.
Yep. All right. I have two teams. I'm going to go one for each league. The team I think is going to buy in the American League is the Kansas City Royals. They have had an unreal season. Bobby Witt Jr. has blossomed. Michael Garcia has been really good. MJ Melendez has been fantastic. And then that two-headed monster in the starting rotation of Cole Reagans and Seth Lugo, former Mets legend Seth Lugo,
the Betamax
is one of the best starters and a Cy Young candidate. Like, who saw that coming? They need more hitting. Yeah, they need more hitting at this point. It's really just Bobby, Salvador Perez, and an occasionally smattering of guys who can do some stuff. They're reportedly in on Jazz Chisholm. I don't know how likely that is, considering the package it would take. The Royals don't have the best farm system, and I don't think it really matches up with what the Marlins need necessarily. So that's a tough trade I could see not really happening, but they're definitely buying. They need another bat in that lineup. Maybe another reliever. You can never have too many relievers. I like them to buy. And then in the NL, I'm going to go. They already kind of had. I'm going to go with the Mets. They recently brought in Phil Maton from the Rays. I think they go a little bit more big game hunting. I think they could add maybe another bat to that lineup. I think maybe a third baseman, because I know Vientos has been pretty good, but maybe Bader and Nimmo have been really good. So maybe probably another starter, because they still don't have Senga yet. They've been relying on Severino and Quintana at this point, who have been really good. But I think they could add another starter or reliever, because Edwin Diaz has been all over the place. So I'm going to go Mets and Royals. Two teams battling out for a wild card spot right now.
I was about to be like, oh, they should probably go get Vlad, but then I realized they got my guy. They got Justin Zingers Martinez at the ripe old age of 36 and 263 with 10 home runs in the DH spot. So that probably wouldn't make a whole lot of sense, but they have money to spend. It's just a matter of, are they going to be willing to add in payroll to potentially help them out? And back to the Royals. The Royals. My thing would be, this is a wide open AL. You have no clue what's going to happen next year because obviously you're a small market team. A lot of things can happen between now and say March of next year. Why not take a gamble? Why not try to get another guy or two in here, see if we get hot, and then if we don't get it, so be it. But we'll at least take the chance. I feel like that's probably good enough. Because like, who knows the next time they're going to have it? Hello?
Oh, we're good. We're good.
I heard myself there for a second. That was very scary. But yeah, like what's your incentive to not buy with this team? Because like again, like the way they operate is not the same way that like the Dodgers operate or the Phillies or the Yankees or whoever else. Like next year's not really guaranteed for you guys. Hypothetically, some of these AL teams are probably going to load up. And then you're obviously in a division with the Guardians, who have kind of had a stranglehold on the Central for the better part of the last decade. Why not take a chance?
Yeah, no, I think you're completely right there. It's a tough thing because go for it at this point. That's their biggest thing at this point. They just need to do it because you only have a certain window of opportunity to make things happen, and this is their window.
Like all it takes for you is to get hot. Look at the 2011 Cardinals, not to open up any bad wounds or anything like that, but like that's all you need sometimes. Just get hot at the right time, have the right group of guys, and then the rest will take care of itself.
No, I think you're absolutely on point with that. And I'm sure Sai would love the reference to the 2011 Cardinals and any day of the week he can to bring up the Cardinals. I think he'd be very happy with that. Go ahead and make a quick transition here. We'll go from who's going to potentially buying to who's going to be selling. There's going to be a ton of these teams.
White Sox.
Who do you think is probably going to be the biggest seller of the bunch?
White Sox, brother. Everybody, anything and everyone. I'm talking Kopech. I'm talking Luis Robert. I'm talking the physical grandstands out in left field. Everything. And everything.
Eric Fetty.
Eric Fetty, everything. We're talking the like monument, like not even monument park. It's like a weird like area they have up at the top bleachers of left field. That has to go. The lease to the stadium has to go. Jerry Reinsdorf has to go. That's a whole nother thing. But everything and everything must go.
The only thing that's absolutely untouchable is the campfire milkshake. That stays.
Yeah, outside of that, like we'll have 5 of them like this around like a parking lot area where the new mall will be, and they'll make a memorial. Like we'll fossilize them in their memory, and we'll sell them in the kiosk in the food court of the new mall, in the former. It's Comiskey, right? Or am I thinking of?
You are 2 names behind, actually.
Oh, all right. So I kind of was right. Okay, I thought I was talking about Cleveland for a second.
Now it's called Guaranteed Rate Field, and then before that, it was U.S. Cellular.
That's not a. Neither of those are real companies. Those are companies you hear about in GTA or Saints Row. Those are not real. Those aren't real.
No, but like at least U.S. Cellular was kind of popping off when they initially had the stadium switched. I think they won the World Series when it was called U.S. Cellular. So
I think there was still U.S. Cellular in 21, right? Because I distinctly remember putting a bet on the White Sox to win the World Series in 2021. I'm like, you know what? I got a weird feeling.
No, I think they switched it in 2019 or 2020 to guaranteed rate.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that was like my 5th ever bet. I'm like, I got a weird feeling they're gonna go all the way, and sure enough, they ran into the Astros buzzsaw.
I'm looking this up right now.
It's never been anywhere close to that since for the White Sox. This is a joke of an organization, man.
Oh, it was actually 2017 when it got renamed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I saw Chris Sale cut the jerseys in 16 and said, "We're all set. This is what our fake organization stands for."
I just still I didn't realize it's been that long. And then the funny thing is that the parent company just changed themselves to rate. So they took out the guaranteed part. So I don't know if it will ever happen, but there might be a time where it might be just called Rate Field.
They're not beating the AI generated company allegations. They're not. I'm sorry. They're not.
Oh,
Rate?
Yes.
I know the process of getting trademarks for that must be crazy. With just one word. And that basic.
Yeah, I agree.
Are you kidding me? What happened to the game I loved? What happened?
This is what happens under Rob Manfred's America.
It's true.
I'll quickly go with my quick selling team. Most of them are going to come out of AL because, I mean, outside of the Marlins and Rockies, almost every team in the NL is in it. Cubs are 3.5 games out of a wild card spot, and they've had a Mickey Mouse first half of the season.
I think
Nationals, I think,
so if I had to guess.
Yeah, the Nationals, I think, are probably going to more stand pat than sell. Maybe a Jesse Winker trade would probably be it, but they're 6 games out of a wild card spot, so I would just expect them not to do much. But I'm going to go with the team slightly ahead of the White Sox. And by slightly, I mean 10 games. And that's the Oakland A's.
They're 10 games up?
Yep, they are 10 games ahead.
Full of the organization. Full of the organization, brother.
37-61 versus 27-71.
Kenny, you're in my thoughts. No one deserves this.
Yeah, that's why they're sending him to Vegas. So now the Vegas gets to deal with it.
No, they're going to Sacramento, brother. Oh, no. They're talking about the A's.
Oh, that's right. I completely forgot they were going to Sacramento first while they build that atrocity of a stadium.
Oh, my. They're not even going to be called like the Sacramento A's. They're just going to be like the A's.
Which is a travesty.
And they're like, oh, we're so excited for Sacramento to come to this minor league park to watch opposing players, like not even our own players. Oh, it's going to be so sick to see Aaron Judge hitting like 500-foot home run. It's like, you have your own team here, you understand. Like, you physically own a team that's playing in this ballpark. And you're like, no, we're actually very excited to see our own guys get slaughtered, lose like 120 games a year.
Good times in Oakland / Sacramento. Good times.
Now, John Fisher's not a real person.
No, it's always and forever. Fuck John Fisher.
Sell the team. Sell the goddamn team, man.
So, but they have a lot of interesting pieces they could trade. I don't think they're going to trade Mason Miller. I think he's too valuable at this point, not only as a reliever, but as a potential starter down the line. It would take a mega package to get him, although I could see the Dodgers doing it just to be assholes, but who knows?
I respect it. I respect it.
Yeah, I hate them, but I respect them.
Listen, let everyone else be cheap. Let everyone else be cheap. That's not our problem. It's a you problem. You understand? You. Not us. You.
Yep. But yeah, they have Brent Rooker to potentially trade, Travis Wood, maybe was it JJ Bleday I'm thinking of, or Paul Blackburn? That's who I was thinking of as a potential reliever they could trade down the line. But they got some guys.
Yeah, I think that's JJ Bleday still. though he was a Marlins guy for a while.
I think he obviously switched, but I was thinking more of like another pitcher they could trade that was good. Bleday, I think, is on the younger side, and they'll probably keep him. So, yeah, I think the bottom two in the AL are just going to be, instead of a mid-off, it's going to be a sell-off.
Everything and anything. If you're going to sell as one of these bad teams, like everything, like what exactly are we trying to hold on to? Now I guess like Mason Miller I'm trying to keep. Unless like the Dodgers or the Yankees or one of these teams are going to be like, we will drastically overpay. Like we'll give up. And the Yankees like, we'll give you Dominguez plus for him. Like at that point, it's like your hands are tied. Your hands are tied at that point. But I don't think that's going to happen.
Not in the slightest. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and end it off here in the last couple of minutes. It's State of the Union time. Normally this is Cubs and Cardinals, but obviously with you here, it's going to be Cubs and Red Sox. So just give us a brief overview of where the Red Sox sit at the All-Star break, what they could do moving forward, potential trades, and what you're expecting out of the second half of the season.
All right, so I said this, I think, on Twitter like a week and a half ago, but I want to say it here on camera. I fucked up. I took Emeka Okafor and Karan Butler. They're not bad. I fucked up. I said this Red Sox team was awful. Awful. Not worth my time. Well in advance of the season opener. I'm like, I just don't care about this team. They're terrible. I hope they lose 100 games. And you can attest to this. I was saying these exact things for months.
You said they were a AAA team.
It's true. I said all of this. I don't regret it. Not in the slightest. But I fucked up. I was wrong. If you want to say I fucked up, write it. Shout out, I'm forgetting his name, the old UConn coach. I think about that quote at least twice a day.
I can't think of name off the top of my head. The only one I think of is Dan Hurley.
But yeah, like I fucked up. I took Emeka for Karan Butler. I thought that a team that had pretty much no starting pitching and just really Rafael Devers as the star player was not going to be good. And much to my surprise, and I have no problem admitting this, they are a good baseball team. Like Jarren Duran is surprisingly one of the better outfielders in baseball now, which I just didn't really expect to ever happen, but here we are. Cedar Rafaela is an absolute delight, both at shortstop and in the outfield, which is insane to say, but I don't think he's going to win Rookie of the Year as much as I think a lot of Red Sox fans at this point would probably want him to. I just don't think it's going to happen. Devers is kind of just Ortiz now from the standpoint that he's just a guaranteed like 30 home runs a year, no matter what. Tanner Houck has somehow developed from a guy who could not go through the order a second or third time, and now he's comfortably going through 5 or 6 innings per outing. And really, outside of that Padres outing where he gave up like 7 runs in 4 innings, he's been spectacular. I think the biggest thing this team has to do, lock down Alex Cora. Why did he go into this season without a contract extension? Because that either tells me he's gone regardless, or you should have traded him or just allowed him to walk, I should say, before the season even started. Because it's like, why are we playing this game for? You did the same thing with Xander Bogaerts, but his final year, where you just didn't really want to negotiate with him, and you allowed him to walk at the last hour. And now you're also inviting in the scenario where Cora walks and goes to the Yankees, which is the nightmare scenario for this team. Why he's not under contract for beyond this year is beyond me, but no, they're good. I fucked up. I messed up. They are a good baseball team. But fuck John Henry forever.
Oh, 1,000%. But just to take a look at the starting rotation, it's funny. You guys paid Brian Bayo to probably be the ace of the staff, and he's easily been the worst of the bunch. It's been Houck and Cutter Crawford who have been the best of the bunch. 222 strikeouts combined between those two guys. 254 and 304 ERA. Like, I watch Fuzzy's recaps on YouTube, And every time there's a Cutter Crawford Red Sox start, I'm excited.
Elite name. Oh, you want to talk about just a great pitching name. Cutter Crawford, oh my goodness.
The antithesis of Homer Bailey.
Correct.
So
Another
I'm excited to see the Red Sox do the rest of the year. Slight personal bias since I am somewhat friends with the broadcaster for the Royals. I hope the Royals can hop into that spot, or at least ahead of the Twins, and the Red Sox still make it. That would be my ideal outcome, because Twins are kind of whack as a team, and they'll probably lose to the Yankees in the playoffs.
Yeah, I was about to say, do we want to see them go in this lose to the Yankees? Like, we know, like we've seen this result for 20 years. Excuse me. But like, we can just auto sim to the end. The result's not going to change, like, at all. Like, we've done this song and dance for 20 years. The tune hasn't changed. The chord hasn't changed. We haven't added time to the song. We haven't taken time away from the song. We haven't added instruments. None of that. The song's been the exact same for 20 years. No changes, none. So, yeah, I don't need to see the Twins unless, like, they are going to be actually serious, which I don't really know if that's going to be the case.
We shall see. Cubs side of things. Obviously has not been an ideal first half of the season.
You were so excited for Craig Counsell, man. You were so excited about Craig Counsell. On this very program, I saw it. I saw it live when you found out you guys got him.
Yes. So, okay. The whole Craig Counsell thing. He's been all right, I think, is the best way I could put it. He's been given a crappy hand to deal with, partly due to this roster. He's having to start Miles Mastrobuoni at third base because they didn't want to sign Matt Chapman and believed in Christopher Morel.
That's not a real person. What? That's not a real person. No. One more time.
Oh, no. Miles Mastrobuoni.
That's not a real person.
Oh, he's quite real.
You're not even saying words to me right now.
There was a time where Nico Horner and Dansby Swanson were injured, and they were playing the Braves, and they had to start Nick Madrigal and Miles Mastrobuoni up the middle in that infield, and he was at bat. And Brandon Gaudin, who's the broadcaster for the Braves, he said, Pierce Johnson is out and someone else is out, and Miles Mastrobuoni's at the plate, and now it's a solo mission. You can find the clip on Twitter.
Oh my God, he is a real person.
Yeah, who unironically has been better defensively at third base than Christopher Morel this season. Like, he probably has a positive outs above average, which is a lot more than we're seeing from Christopher Morel. He's a good hitter. He's just not a position player. He is a DH. He's a right-handed Kyle Schwarber, and I'm okay with that. He's not hitting as many homers as Schwarber, but he is in that same mold.
As in 0 home runs for the record. But again, it's
fine.
For
Mastrobuoni.
I'm pro Adam Duns. We need more Adam Duns in the game of baseball. If you 50 home runs and you're hitting like 170, that's cool. That's great to me, actually. Like, home runs are your bread and butter. I'm expecting nothing else. I'm expecting a strikeout on 3 pitches, or you're hitting this ball 450. No in between. None. We need more of that.
I am perfectly okay with.
Exactly.
But the Cubs have been injured to hell on the pitching staff. Yency Almonte is out for the year. Adbert Alzolay has been out since May. Julian Merriweather's basically been out the whole year. I think the Cubs have had over 20 players on the IL at some point this year. So it's not been good. They've been better. The hottest they've ever been all season. They just swept the Baltimore Orioles. They did have a chance to take 3 or 4 from the Cardinals, but they blew the game in the 8th inning. in that second game of the doubleheader, and Hayden Wesneski wet the bed in game one. The Cubs lost like 10-3.
Oh yeah,
so
that's one game I saw. Yeah.
So yeah, it's hard to tell where this team is at, whether they're going to buy or sell. I think they're only 3.5 games out of a wild card spot. Yes, they have to jump. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams to do it. But I think it is very much in the realm of possibility.
Like, I would say these next 2 weeks, it's like, if you can tell there's like not really a spark, I would definitely see like if there's a couple of like sells you can do. Like not anything too crazy, but it's like we think there's a guy probably has like 2 years left of team control or something like that, or a year left. Well, say, you know what, let's just cut our losses, see what we can get now, and then just move on.
Yeah, there's a world where
but I think that would not be a bad idea.
Yeah, there's a world I can see where Cody Bellinger gets traded because he's technically only has a 1-year deal because of the opt-out. So,
which he's going to take 100%.
Yeah, he's having an okay season, but not to the level that he was expected to be and what he's been paid to do. He's a good player. He's just not MVP Dodgers Cody Bellinger anymore.
He's a Boris guy, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. That explains the down year perfectly then.
Yep.
Scott Boras legacy coming up.
Get Christian Yelich agent, please. I don't know who it is, but get him.
I cannot wait to see how many several $100 million going to cost these guys this year again. That was very funny last year.
Oh, 100%.
Like, listen. He's telling his guys dead serious, like, no, hold out. They're gonna give us our best stuff. And all his guys are signing like 2 and 3 year deals now instead of like 8 and 9. It's very funny. Very funny. How this
basically all of them signed 1-year deals because Matt Chapman has basically the same deal Bellinger got. Jordan Montgomery, I think, got a 1-year deal from the Diamondbacks. Obviously, Bellinger, the essential 1-year deal with the Cubs. Who was the fourth guy in that mix? Oh, Blake Snell. Yeah, he essentially got a 1-year deal from the Giants.
Lost the fastball. Hate to see it.
Yep. So, yeah, it's going to be a very important stretch for the Cubs post All-Star break. They have 3 in Arizona. That's huge for wild card. 3 at home against the Brewers before they head on the road to Kansas City and Cincinnati heading into the trade deadline. So
I think you got to win 8 of those 12, assuming those are all 3-game series, which I just don't have in front of me. But if those are 12 games, I think you got to win at least 8 of those to feel good about buying.
It'll be 10 total games because the second game of that Cincinnati series is the trade deadline.
Okay, so I would say going into those Cincinnati games, and I would say probably what?
7-2.
Yeah, like that feels good enough. Like at that point, it's like, okay, we're clearly going to make enough ads to say we are making a playoff push. But
because at that point, they'd be 54-53 if they go 7-2.
Oh yeah, at that point, yeah, I'm in. Yeah, at that point, we're making some moves. At that point.
Yeah, and I think it'd have to be a sweep of the Diamondbacks, 2 of 3 from Kansas City before heading into Cincinnati.
Yeah, I think like if they lose 2 or 3 of the Diamondbacks, that might be the sign to be like, yeah, look, we're just gonna soft sell and then kind of the stamp pad after those couple of moves. But yeah, let's see.
They got the right guy coming out of the break. They got Justin Steele starting game 1 against the Diamondbacks. So
stud.
Should have made it over Christian Sanchez and Max Fried for the All-Star game. But that's just me.
I'd agree.
100%. But you know what these guys are going to need as they make their way to the All-Star game?
What's that?
They're going to need some good auto insurance.
Here's to the grown-ups. Your car is now your office. Here's to the grown-ups. Your car is now your office. Stage, nursery. Shh, sorry. Erie Insurance offers products that lots of other companies don't. That's a big deal. And it's a good deal, too. And with Erie, you get your own independent agent, not a giant corporate call center or some online robot. You meet with a real person, like this.
Your local Erie agent is Building Block Insurance Group. Get a quote today at 704-464-4544.
Erie Insurance.
And when you contact our guy, Jeff Wertepney, at 404-464-4544, make sure to let him know that Third on Thursdays and Beer versus Ivy sent you, and that I'm better than Jeff at College Football 25, even though I don't have the game yet. So have to pump up that game.
Hour and 15 minutes out, baby. Hour and 15 minutes out.
First thing I'm doing when I get the game is I think I have to get PS Plus in order to do an online dynasty.
That would be correct.
And I am resurrecting the Marquette football program.
I'm resurrecting BU. And I'm going to tell you this right now. I am going to make Bob Knight look like present-day Dick Vitale as a football coach. Are you kidding me? If you even think about the transfer portal. Now, if you want to transfer to my program, we'll take you in. You're thinking about transferring out, brother. Oh, my goodness. I'm making Bob Knight look like the fucking Teletubbies by comparison. I promise you. Are you... And all this NIL stuff, like I'm pro NIL in real life. In this game, no. None of that.
Beautiful. We are, of course, in the bottom of the ninth. So any other last thoughts or things you want to say before we wrap up this all-star bullpen spectacular?
I miss Xander Bogaerts. That's really about it. That's all I got. I hate you, John Henry, so much. Also, Heim Bloom, you're partially responsible.
Yeah, and my final thought related to that is I miss 2016 Chris Bryant. Come home, Pookie.
What was it? Who did he talk to the other day where it was like he basically all but said he regretted signing with the Rockies?
Oh, that was in a full story to The Athletic.
That's awesome. But yeah, I fully regret going to a team that has no hope, no future, no present even. And it's like, we all could have told you that before you even signed the contract. Like, every person who was tapped into baseball could have told you this was a terrible idea for you.
The only guys that got going for him are Ryan McMahon, Brendan Rodgers, Brenton Doyle, and Nolan Jones. That is
October,
it.
baby. We're on to October. Probably not, but it's a thought that counts.
It's a thought that counts. Well, Jack, thank you so much for coming on again, coming out of the bullpen for us today. We really appreciate it as Cy goes ahead and takes care of his civic duty of jury duty, doing the public some good.
If only he was like a major national case, that'd be very funny. Like the case that he's on, that turns into like the next big trial.
Well, there was one case that was thrown out today that I'm not going to say what it is, but I think you probably know.
There's a huge trial down in my neck of the woods the last like 2 months. This got, I think,
really?
Oh yeah, Karen Reed trial. Oh my god, my mother's obsessed with like court cases, and oh my god, I'm as glad it stopped for the time being. I'm pretty sure it didn't get thrown out, but I think it was a hung jury, which didn't help. But yeah, wild story. We got the time.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll talk about that in a little bit. But thank you, everyone who is watching. Quick screw you to Twitter and Elon Musk for making streaming on there a premium account requirement. So
we're never calling it
suck
X. We're never calling it X. I promise you. Not even by accident.
No, I've said before, anyone who calls it X unironically is banished to the Shadow Realm.
And you probably pay for a blue check at that point for like just for no real reason. Like there are reasons why I understand you would probably want a blue check, but you're just doing it for the vanity at that point, which is disgraceful to me. And we can't have that. No, not in my locker room.
No verified Twitter accounts on Jack Gaffney's Dynasty squad.
Nope. Just like Mark Jackson, not in my locker room. Awful joke.
All right, that's it for us today. Thank you so much, Jack, for hopping on, and hopefully, Cy will be back next week.